Hello and thanks for being here. We've got cardio kickboxing basics. Whether you're new to kickboxing or just new to my channel, or you used to be a pro kickboxer way back when and you just need to, have a little review refresher, no problem. We are going to go through all of the moves I frequently use for my combos. We will go through skill, technique, form, all of that with the name on the screen so you can associate name and movement with time to practice. So let's get into it. We're starting simple with a cross. It's a punch that's going across your body. Knuckles are parallel with the ground, thumb tucked outside in a proper fist. We're using that core, that hip, and that back foot to propel that punch forward. Cross. Lovely. Moving on, we've got jab. This is going to be the arm closest to your opponent, your front arm. Okay, jabbing forward. Same form and technique as your cross, just with that front arm. All right, for the hook, we've got a front hook. We're going to use that hip to get a little bit of momentum. Knuckles are still parallel with the ground, and you're at chin height. Back hook. You're using that back hip and that back foot to help propel and thrust that hook forward, and we're still at chin height here. Give it a few more reps here using that hip, using that core, using that back foot, driving that hook into that chin, aiming for your own chin. And then here we're going to alternate, just practice alternating and using the different hips and feet movements with that hook. Moving on to uppercut. I like to keep my uppercuts low as if I were hitting a bag. Okay, that helps me engage my core. I use that hip, that core, and I'm driving that uppercut up. My fist is twisting. I'm still hitting with those top two knuckles, but my fist is now facing me. There we go. Here's a few examples using those hips, slowing it down a little bit. We're alternating arms. Great. But we're going to start with the front elbow. We're aiming the elbow for the chin or the nose. You can do that unsupported, or you can use that opposite hand to support that fist and help drive that elbow into the chin or nose. Here's the back elbow, supported or unsupported, and then we're just going to alternate between front and back. Use that hip, use that core, use those feet. All right, moving on, back fist. I like to pair this with a jab because that's how I use it in my combos. So we go jab, back fist, arm is twisting in towards your body, and then you're bopping those top two knuckles right on their nose. There we go, that's where you're aiming. This is a quick, precise, small movement. Okay, your opponent's close. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Jab, back fist. In my combos, I usually only use this for the front arm, so we're only going to practice on the front arm. If you want to practice with a cross into a back fist, you are more than welcome. But we're just going to stick with the jab, back fist today. Great. All right. I call this elbow number 2, but this is a back arm upwards elbow. We're driving the elbows straight up, and you're knocking them right under their chin with the top of your elbow, like that. Okay, using that hip and that back foot to drive that elbow up. Okay, fist is going straight back, elbow is going straight up. Use that hip. For our catch, we are accepting a punch with this movement. We're driving those elbows back and making our target small. I like to think about bringing my rib cage to my hip bone to make that area smaller, and I'm bracing my core, protecting my insides while accepting that punch. So we've got, it's like a little crunch. So crunch. I like to breathe air out and helps you activate that core and engage those muscles. Okay, elbows back, elbows back. Great. Next, we've got palm strike. This is to the chin or the nose. We're hitting with the palm of your hand. So you need those fingers out of the way. Thumb is tucked to the side. And it's a little bit of an upward drive movement. Showing here where you're aiming for that chin or nose. This shouldn't be up at your forehead, shouldn't be down too low. Nice. I'm showing you here how your hands should look, kind of like little cups, but bottom line is you're using that palm. Okay, striking upwards, you should feel that through your bicep, down through your chest, down through your core, and using that hip and foot to drive it. Okay, we've got hammer fist. We are swinging down in a controlled movement. Elbow is slightly bent, and we're just hammer fisting down onto our opponent who is potentially on the ground. Wonderful. We're moving on to our kicks. We're starting with front kick. Here I'm pulling my knee up, hinging from the knee with the toes, and landing in front of me. These are the exaggerated broken down movements, but if you kind of smooth them out, there we have our front kick. You can keep this waist height, or as you get warmer and warmer throughout the kicking, you can get that kick higher and higher. Moving on to side kick. As it sounds, we're kicking out to the side. We're pressing out through the heel, up through the glute. Foot is horizontal to the ground and toes are flexed, pulled towards you. And we're just gonna start rotating through that, kicking out and away from the body, pushing away. I like to think of this as a version of a push kick, as we're pushing away from the body. Push. There we go. Through that heel, through that glute. We've got back kick next. Similar to side kick, we are kicking as it sounds, back behind us. Okay, again, through the heel and up through the glute. Foot is flexed, toes pulling towards you and out of the way. We don't want to be kicking with those toes. Don't want to risk breaking them. Okay, pressing out against the body, push, push. This is a blind kick, so you don't need to look over your shoulder. Moving on to our push kick. This kick is pushing forward as it sounds. Instead of going for height like our front kick, we are going for distance. We're pushing away from our body and we're using that hip to drive that push forward. Okay, using that core as well. Pushing out and away from your body. Next, we've got that roundhouse with the front leg. We're tapping and round, tap and round. For this kick, we're twisting our hips and we're making contact with the laces of our shoe. I kind of think of this kick instead of a push, more of as a flick or a slap. Okay, we're kicking our opponent on the side or the neck. Okay, we're smacking them with that kick instead of pushing them. Lovely. Similar idea, but we're going to use the back leg. It's going to start in the back and swing forward, landing front. And then we're adding that roundhouse. Swinging forward, kicking, landing in the front. Swinging forward, kicking, landing in the front. You can practice with just a knee to get that movement, and then you can start adding that kick once you feel comfortable with the movement. Great work. You are now a kickboxing basics master. Feel free to use the timestamps to go back through and have some more practice on specific movements. Otherwise, you are now ready to go. I can't wait to see you in my next video, and I look forward to kicking it with you. Bye.